My whole life I had received signs, seen things, hearing things in a way that I knew things happening. Now, I put it aside to try to fit with society and friends and kids to play with me because when I say something, I scare them all the time. So I put it aside. Then later, I lost people that I love, and one of them sent me signs immediately, right away, even before to their past. They were not verbal. I received signs like I should do this. I follow everything from my comfort. I could not even express to you how that happened that night. But now I know it was my guidance, my guides telling me.
Rare Medium with Deb Snyder, celebrating life's rarities, the people, places, and experiences that just might be a little bit weird. This podcast explores all facets of our energetic connections to each other and beyond. We'll dive into the depths of mediumship, psychic ability, intuition, near-death experiences, afterlife research, healing modalities, and more. Our focus is to bring you relevant and moving accounts with guests who share their authentic selves and their treks into the spiritual and energetic realms. We'll learn how those experiences shifted their perspective on life itself. Join us to be inspired by everyday people on their extraordinary journeys into the rare medium of the mystical world. Topics discussed on Rare Medium by the host and guests are presented for informational and entertainment purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional, legal, or medical advice. Hello, everyone. It's Deb Snyder, and I am coming to you from the Rare Medium studio. Today, I am honored to have the guest, Ada Glemser. Ada is going to talk about her journey into mediumship and her spiritual path. Welcome, Ada.
Hello, Deb. Thank you for having me. I've been looking forward to have this conversation with you. I know it's been a lot of planning and get together, but I'm happy to be here today.
Great. I'm so glad. I'm so thrilled to have you with me, Ada. Now, everyone, Ada and I met this spring in a advanced mediumship development course. Do realize that when you're on the mediumship path, that we all continue to learn and grow and practice all along the way. The cool thing about it is Ada and I have been able to read for each other. She brought in one of my dear aunts, and I was able to bring in a friend of hers. We just sort of clicked together. It worked really well. I appreciate you being on with me, Ada, and it's just fun to sort of play in that playground. For those of you who are developing mediums, I highly recommend you seek out any source of play and practice. We happen to meet at an advanced practice through Home Medium Academy, which is online. So that makes it very easy for me in Maine and for Ada in Florida to become friends. Now, Ada, tell me, I know you've done a lot of work in your own spiritual evolution. What was that turning point that got you to go into mediumship?
What really have me discover this as a no longer ignoring it. My whole life I had received signs, seen things, hearing things in a way that I knew things happening. I put it aside to try to fit with society and friends and kids to play with me because when I say something, I scare them all the time. So I put it aside. Then later, I lost people that I love, and one of them sent me signs immediately, right away, even before to their past. I received signs like I should do this. I follow everything from my comfort. I could not even express to you how that happened that night. I know it was my guidance, my guides telling me, nudge me.
Now, Ada, how did that work for you? People who aren't as familiar with those types of abilities, was it something you saw or heard, or how did that work?
Something that I heard. I happened to sleep with a sleep mask, and I was about to go back to bed. I was taking care of of my loved one. And I was like, oh, I'm going to take a nap for 30 minutes or so. I literally went to bed and I put my face mask, but I was like, something told me, like, get up, get up. So I did. I put my face mask on the bed and went to check. And looks good. And then I returned to my bedroom. I could not find my sleeping mask. And my first thought, this is her letting me know that she wants me to stay awake. And I went back. In 30 minutes afterward or so, she passed peacefully. So
I myself, for anyone who follows my work, knows that energy communication is a large part of my life with the living, just like you. My own daughter is nonverbal and profoundly disabled, and was able to utilize the same type of energy communication to speak with me. I am 1,000,000% behind what you're talking about, and I fully believe in that ability to make useful in our life, to be able to utilize energy communication, spirit communication to improve our waking life. And the fact that you were already committing to taking care of this person and that this was the help that you were getting along the way. You had mentioned that you thought it was a sign from her. Do you think it was from your loved one departing, or do you feel that it was from up above, like an angel, or both?
I would say both because I have never experienced a thought like that. I mean, yes, but I put it aside. In that moment, I could not put it aside and continue to go to like doing my plan, like take a nap for 30 minutes. No, I couldn't. So I immediately got up and went back, and then I couldn't find my face mask. And then I was, okay, this is what is nudging me. And I went back and I hold her hand until she passed peacefully. And I had that big opportunity to tell her that I love her. And that gave me the strength to continue with my life.
Absolutely. I think when spirit starts getting louder and louder and louder, we get to a point where it literally is a calling. You can't put it aside anymore. So tell me, what were your next steps after that? How did you choose to decide to move into being a professional evidential medium?
It's funny the way I can present it because I was just like receiving so many signs, so many. The day after her burial, I smelled coffee like 5 times. I'm not a coffee drinker. She was. And I was like, okay. I received so many signs, I could ignore them. And, in that part of the grief, you have that wound that cracks your world open. So I was like, just wondering, questioning what would happen. And one day I saw an ad of a famous medium coming to my town. And I went online and looked at like, that kind of interesting. I didn't think about it more. And then I started to do more research on the internet looking for that. And then I came across with the name of Suzanne Gisman. And I click on that. And since then, I have those experience that understanding what was happening to me with her teachings, with her books. I was like, oh, this is what it means. So many things start to click together. And that what made me go to mediumship. All the signs, the things that I could no longer ignore, and because every single day it was something different out of the blue. I'm like, okay. I listen and I've been guided and has changed my life like to freedom.
That's wonderful. I think Suzanne Giesman is a powerhouse. And what I love about her is being able to put some of these things in very concrete ways. We're taking something that's very out there, and she can condense it into a way that people can understand and find that within themselves. I agree with you. I think she's wonderful. I've never had the opportunity to meet her, but I have had the opportunity to take some of her online courses. And that, again, another thing that's wonderful about her is that she's out there all over the place, offering guidance for people at all different levels. I do like that about her as well. I'm glad that she was a catalyst for you. Now, talking about grief getting you through? How do you feel that grief was a change agent in your life?
Yes. Well, we have this process that we have a life like we consider the normal life. But once you have this world break up and you realize that you are one person before and one person afterwards. So, and it's a pain that never gonna go like a straight line. So you have your days that goes down, goes up, and so that grief, it was one of the hardest things that I have to go through, and it's one of my biggest fears too to lose that person. But I said, well, now with all these signs, what it is, that grief made me also stay curious, stay open. Once I received messages like determine that what it means, the healing was almost instantly like open my eyes, open my eyes. There is information out there that no one could know. And I got the confirmations through mediumship.
That's wonderful. I cannot emphasize enough for folks the power and peace when you no longer fear life after death.
Mm-hmm.
When you no longer worry about that, you realize this isn't the only place. For me, I was an energy communicator, a psychic, doing intuitive therapy for decades. Mediumship is something that I've done my whole life, even since I was a child, but it was something that I tamped down and was a little more afraid of. Through lots of experiences that shifted for me. I'll be honest, my daughter, she was in a rough period health wise. I wanted to make sure that I was still able to communicate with her if she were to cross over. I'll let people off the hook right now. My daughter Reagan is still living and she's 26 years old. At about the time she was 13 or 14, I was really feeling like she could go anytime. And I trusted that. So I flew off to Arthur Findlay in England and did study there and just sort of gave myself a little bit more confidence in whatever Reagan decided to do. I was going to be able to still connect with her. And I think that's where the powerful thing is for your person, for my people, for anybody out there, just having that peace of heart and that peace of mind that we are still connected. I think that in itself is tremendously healing.
Correct. Yes. There is no disconnection.
Tell me a little bit about what you're doing with Purple Catharsis, your project.
Well, purple catharsis is when I went through these periods of grief, I find out I have a lot of people around me, but none of them were going at the same experience that I was. So I found out myself, well, I could talk to my husband, I could talk to my relatives, but it's never the same thing when somebody's going through the same things that have these deep, raw conversations that, this is what's really happening to me when you become vulnerable and start to take all these things that has kept you in prison your whole life because you cannot say it, you cannot heal. So you have probably you are operating from a childhood trauma. So talking to somebody who's willing to listen and just giving the time to you to listen and have that open and safe space to talk about things that is raw, is deep emotional, and is one of the things that I believe we need to be more aware of having those spaces. And in a form that we can talk confidentially, safely, I can help in the way the things that has helped me to go through that. So that's what I do in catharsis. Have these deep rock conversations. Also have fun because I see spirituality in a fun way. It is one of those things that if you take it too serious, you lose the fun of it. And then if you take it too loose, you lose it.
I agree with you fully. We are fun and we're also serious. If we're too much of one thing, we get out of balance. I think the best word is authenticity. Your work helping people embrace their true authentic selves, that's a powerful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Congratulations on the work that you're doing. Now, where do you see yourself going from here?
Well, right now I'm in the spiritual path that I am studying to become a spiritual teacher, certified. And then after that, one of my dreams is teaching, break down those things that scare people to talk about or make you think like, what is this? One of the things that we tend to be like, oh, this is too complicated. If we talk about sacred geometry, there is one of the things that I'm breaking down in small tidbits to understand. If we put sacred geometry or if you talk about physics, it's like we're doing laundry. We separate each kind of type of laundry. So those kind of teachings that I'm like inspired to do, bring it in a different fun way that people can remember and break down those topics.
Well, that sounds wonderful. I think it's important for us all to remember that we are all teachers and that we're all students, each one of us being so uniquely different. That is what I'm talking about here on Rare Medium. We're dealing with the rare medium of the mystical world and how spirit works through us in unique ways. The fact that how spirit and energy moves through you is giving you a platform to be able to teach and help us grow. And then you and I can turn this direction and learn from somebody else who's teaching a different way. It's
Yes.
all very valid and it's all very necessary. Really excited for what you have to come. Now, Ada, since we are mediums, what piece of advice would you give to someone who is on their mediumship journey? Take those steps. What advice would you give somebody on their path?
The first thing I would tell anyone who is starting in this mediumship part, first thing that you have to do is find your inner peace first. Trust the spirit and believe because you need to have this balance. Your inner peace, your trust, and your belief. And once you have all these things, you're gonna have open heart, open mind, and your life is gonna change in manners that you will never think about it before. Like you never thought about it.
Excellent advice. I know for me, one of the big barriers, although I trusted spirit fully, I was not giving myself the room to spread my wings, so to speak, because of my insecurities in some ways. You know what you know, but then all of a sudden you get out there a little bit and you're like, oh, I don't know if I know that. So we hold ourselves back, let people grow and expand and have that trust. You'll be an excellent teacher. Ada, what are you doing for services now? Can people contact you for a session?
Yes, I do have a Setmore account for mediumship, and also I building up the podcast with the topics. So
Excellent. Purple Catharsis is the name of your podcast.
correct.
Great. We'll keep you folks posted on what Ada's doing, and we'll be following you along in your journey, Ada. This is what I like about this particular program. We're going to have people back on and keeping us abreast of what's going on in their world. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, Ada, I've come up with this little segment for the program that I call Rare Mediums 10QQ. This is 10 quick questions that I'm asking every single guest that's on this program the same 10 questions. And I'm asking for you in just a word or two to
Okay.
respond. This is the hard part because we don't get to explain ourselves. We're just going to sort of answer. It's a fun way for the audience to bond with us and learn a little bit more about us. Now, Ada, ready for your 10QQ?
Yes, go ahead.
Do you believe in the afterlife?
Absolutely.
What was your age in the best year of your life so far?
I'm still building, ongoing.
Who's your favorite musical artist?
Enya and Shakira,
Where would you most like to travel?
United Kingdom and Japan.
What person inspired you the most?
Susan Gisman,
If you could have an entirely different profession, what would it be?
farmer,
What are you grateful for?
growth and freedom.
Do you love yourself?
Absolutely.
What do you regret?
Hesitation.
Now, in a word or two, what advice would you give to your fellow humans?
Stay curious.
Great answers. Ada, Thank you so much for being with us today. And I look forward to having you back on to hear about your adventures and what's going on. We enjoyed learning all about you, and we look forward to seeing your next steps.
Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome to the questions and shout out portions of the podcast. Each time we're together, I will take questions that I receive online off my website or one of my social channels and do my best to answer it for you. I will also be doing a shout out to a particular person, product, or service that I think is really kind of cool. The number one question that I'm getting right now is, Deb, why did you start a podcast? To be truthful, I thought it would be a blast. I'm interested in broadcasting, mediumship, psychism, all things of the mystical world. So I thought it would be fun to learn, grow, and experience things together. There are people out there that are very experienced with the rare medium of the mystical world. You just haven't happened to hear about them because they're not famous. They're not touring the world. Realize that energy communication, spirit communication is for everyone. And we can all learn and grow together. This is what this podcast is about. It's a place of positivity, a place of acceptance, a place of understanding, and to have a little fun. Join me along the way. My intention is to have 4 seasons, 12 episodes each season every year. We might even do some live broadcasts. I'm certainly planning on doing some gallery readings for people in support of the charity, the Heartglow Center. Charity I founded in 2012. It's all volunteer. Any proceeds from this podcast will always support the Heartglow Center. Now for the shout out this week. Well, I have to tell you, I was laying in bed, scrolling on my phone, and I came across something called Astro Song. Well, I am a sucker for astrology. I am not skilled in astrology at all, but I've always liked it. I've always felt very drawn to it, and I've always felt very associated with my sign. I'm a Pisces. I always make a joke that, another psychic who's a blue-eyed Pisces. It's the truth. I'm also a Scorpio moon and Scorpio rising. That's a triple water sign. I don't honestly know as much about those aspects of my sign as I do focusing on the fact that I'm a Pisces, February Pisces at that. I stumbled across Astro Song, and what they do is they take your unique astrology and write a song for you. I cannot tell you how moved and touched I was by my song. It touched me deep at my core. And if you want to know a little bit more about me, you need to simply listen to this song. So my shout out this week is to Astro Song, and I'm going to end this show this week by playing you Deb's Astro Song. Until next time, keep your heart glowing.
She reads the room before she walks inside, feels every current moving under the tide. The calm they see is just the surface skin. There's an ocean of knowing burning deep within. She carries the weight of every unspoken thing, and love's like a covenant, not a borrowed ring. She was built from the marrow of midnight and grace, a fire that moves before the world keeps pace. Let the deep run deep, Deb, you were made this way. A soul that holds the storm and still finds light in the gray. You don't have to prove what was written in your bones. You are ancient, you are sacred. You were never alone. She thinks in rivers, not in straight, clean lines. Connects the hidden dots that nobody finds. She's given more than silence ever said, and built a home for everyone but herself instead. The tenderness she guards behind the walls, the rarest kind of courage after all. She was pulled between the wanting and the way, but wisdom grew from Run deep, Deb, you were made this way. A soul that holds the storm and still finds light in the grave. You don't have to prove what was written in your bones. You are ancient, you are sacred. You were never alone. She's learning that the wound does not define, that every scar became a kind of shrine. She moves like someone born to start again. A tide that rises past the highest waterline. The world needs everything she's kept inside. The gift was always hers, not what she had to hide. She was always on her way towards something true. The compass pointing home was always said to you. Let the deep run deep, Deb, you were made this way. A soul that holds the storm and still finds light in the grave. You don't have to prove what was written in your bones. You are ancient, you are sacred. You were never alone. You were rooted in something older than fear. Every life you've touched has felt it, you just couldn't hear. Stars mapped your edges with deliberate care. You were always enough. You just had to stay there. Let the tide come in, let the current be still. Deb, you were always exactly what the deep fulfills. You were held in what was written long before your name. And nothing that you carried was ever yours to shame.
This has been Rare Medium with Deb Snyder. Please subscribe in your favorite channel and leave any comments you'd like us to see. To learn more, visit debsnyder.com or heartglow.org.